All right, Saints fans, we're back for game number 2 between Trinity Valley College or Community College and St. Clair. Of course, that game number 1, I think we threw that to break probably like 30 minutes sooner than we expected. That was not
We
even
did
close to
indeed.
say the least, but we'll have to see. Of course, best of 3 for a reason, and maybe Trinity can come back.
Yeah, right. I'd like to see a nice little rethink of the draft, right? While the late game scaling comp, it does work and it definitely feeds into like the meta that we're seeing right now. Doesn't work against a Renekton. Does not work when you are getting rooted under your tower by a Morgana and just chunked down by these Rens from the Callista. So that was a very quick game. We saw just under 18 minutes ending, and well, we're just gonna have to see what happens here in game 2.
Yeah, like I was saying, like just cLoL in general as of the past or of this past couple weeks of this season. I don't know if it's just not necessarily unlucky because at the end it is W's, but in terms of close matches, it is completely non-existent. This
Yeah.
cLoL NJC double AE division that we are in is, I mean, you have to start somewhere. We just found a lot of people still at level 1, it seems. But it is what it is. Still early in the season, of course, still the postseason after it. So I don't want to tear into nothing. But nonetheless, I'm going to be hopping into picks and bans in just a couple of moments. And I'm trying to think if you're Trinity Valley right now, because how much of that was just like strictly execution? How much of that was draft?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because as much as you want to pin it on like the late game comp they went for with the Kale and with the Caitlyn mid lane and stuff, we did see like nice clean dives from Ricky at the starting. He did end up trading in the latter few that
Right.
he got, but I mean, when you're seeing the execution gap come out, when you're seeing all these skill shots being hit in the bot lane, you got to think like, is it is it? It could just be doomed from the get go.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like if you're the side of Trinity Valley, like stay away from squishies.
Yeah.
Like that entire team, the only tank was the jungler with the poppy,
Yeah.
and that was just a rough time. The jungler can't be anywhere. I know, even sometimes like for our own Saints, like you want the jungler to be in multiple places at once, but that just can't happen, right? So you have to put yourself into a position where you are safe in a 2v2 or a one-on-one environment. So like maybe having a Caitlyn in the mid lane, maybe not the greatest idea. Having a double mage bot lane, at least pair an Alistar or something in there, like
Yeah,
something to counteract the dive, something with some consistent crowd control. So when the Saints just do full send, you can at least trade evenly.
Yeah, because like you said, like you want the jungler to be everywhere, and the Poppy really was their counter to all of the dive that we saw.
Mhm.
But the Poppy can't be in every lane at once.
Exactly.
You need some kind of support in the bot lane that can really help out that Seraphine. And yeah, Seraphine Lux, it's a pretty strong bot lane, and you get a lot of poke off, but there's not much poke when you're like 10 CS down by the first wave because you and your support have just been killed before their wave even crashed.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal. Yeah, they got like 1, maybe 2 kills right as the minions clashed, so that was absolutely brutal. Sides have swapped here this time by, so Saints are going to be on the blue side of things, allowing them to have first pick. So I wonder if this does end up switching up the pick and ban phase a little bit for one, if not both sides. Maybe we'll see the Zeri ban on the side of Trinity. No, Saints are just going to get rid of it anyway.
Yeah, I would have liked them to like try and maybe run back the Zeri from last night. I mean, we saw it not really work out too well, but you know, these are the kind of games where you can experiment a little bit. We saw Callista Morgana from Zephyros in the bot lane. We saw Barlow on the Anivia, right? And they all worked out fairly well. I mean, Ricky Renekton too. That's a bit of an unorthodox pick, right? It's not something we see for him consistently.
Yeah, I think it was only the one other time, and it was in cLoL. That being said, though, looking at the bans on the side of Trinity Valley from last game, they focused a lot of attention to the ADC role specifically. And I'm curious if maybe they realized, okay, maybe that wasn't necessarily the problem, so to speak. Like, they'll have an answer. Because what was it? Ezreal was off the table, Jinx was off the table, and Varus.
Yeah.
And ended up being Zephyros, too, which was interesting, seeing Zephyros on the AD carrier role with the Callista. I mean, some fancy footwork indeed. And Fiddlesticks. Okay, that's interesting.
That is an interesting ban, but I mean, Fiddlesticks is one of those champs where like you kind of forget how much impact he has until he just blinks over that wall with his ultimate active, and you're feared and just taking that damage, right? So I think it is a good one, and it definitely is one of those jungle bans that you can kind of get a lot of CC out of without really like thinking about it, and it definitely can turn the fights here.
I mean, though, like the way the Saints are playing, I feel like unless the composition that they are going to be building has like a pure Fiddlesticks counter,
Yeah.
like I feel like Fiddlesticks is the kind of jungler that you would want to just invade early and just destroy early, and that's basically what you were doing last game anyway, so I would have left it open. And they are actually going to opt to get rid of the Kale here. It's going to force the top laner there on the side of Trinity Valley to dig a little deeper into the pool.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one, right? Because like we saw how well Ricky capitalized on the Kale's weaknesses. So I would have rather just seen them leave it open, almost like bait them to pick it again, and then so you can just get a free top lane again.
Now looking at the side of Trinity Valley, they opted to switch out the Ezreal ban for the Morgana. To be fair, if you're going to ban something from that bot lane, I think that was kind of wise, because it was literally the fact that Zephyros could not be touched, could not be CC'd, that caused the biggest problem. So if you want to do a do-over of lanes, maybe that would be the case, and we could have an interesting battle here. They're taking away the Darius from Ricky. That being said, we saw Ricky on Yasuo yesterday.
We did see him on Yasuo yesterday. So when I initially saw this Yasuo pick, I was thinking Ricky, but we do have Barlow in the mid lane today, right? So maybe it's Barlow's pick, and we are going to see the Olaf coming out from Trinity Valley. Olaf, it looks like they're going for a pretty tanky comp here so far. I'm not sure about like securing the Olaf so early, because he's not a very big priority pick. So maybe I would have liked to see that in 4th or 5th pick after these last bans come through.
Absolutely, because there's not very many places you could put the Olaf, right? And okay, we have ourselves the Lucian, so this is a Barlow special. Whether it's going to be him or not, that is going to be the question. But the Heimerdinger going to be locked in. I don't think this is the first time we've seen it in cLoL specifically here, but it was like a support Heimer, and it actually did decently.
Yeah, we did see the fasting Senna with the Heimerdinger the last time it was picked here in cLoL. Vex is going to come out from Trinity Valley. Now, this is a nice pick into this team comp right now, because right now I'm seeing two huge mobility champions on Lucian and Yasuo, and as we know, Vex can cancel out dashes and counter those dashes, so it is a pretty good pick into that, I think, as long as Trinity Valley is comfortable on it. Vex, not too hard of a skill champ, right? Not too high. You're hitting a decently wide skill shot on your ult, so I think it is a pretty safe pick here.
I mean, I'm going to give Trinity Valley College or Community College credit, regardless of the results of the game at hand. If there is one thing that I feel like they're doing like pretty decently, it is their homework on the draft, and then the draft themselves. Like, they have, like, there is a goal to it, there's a plan to it, and they're doing solid in that regard. We're going to see the Draven get locked in as well as the Jhin, so somebody on the Saints side is going to be having a little bit of fun in the bot lane.
So something tells me we may be seeing the Lucian mid, or top, right? Lucian top is something we've seen like constantly from the LCK and stuff like that, and the Yuumi is going to come out. So this is just a sheer AD team we've got right here.
Who's jungling on the Saints?
Heimerdinger.
Jungle
I'm calling
Heimer?
it right now. It's either Jungle Heimer or Jungle Yasuo.
Okay, so
unless they want to stack up these Draven stacks on the jungle camps, like they're trying to get some crazy high adoration, come in for a gank, maybe on the Vex, maybe on the squishy Jhin there, and get that snowball rolling. But I'm really just not sure.
So I'm going to say it right here, right now. I know Saints are the home team right now, but I want to see Trinity Valley absolutely destroy this composition, because there is absolutely no goal, no plan. This is literally a solo queue. I know I can outplay you composition.
It's Lucian
and
jungle.
it's Lucian jungle. So honestly, Trinity Valley, want to see what y'all can do. They have a very solid composition as well. I like the Blitzcrank we didn't really touch on. And we are already going for a very quick invade. To be honest, if one of these characters get caught out, they are all extremely squishy.
Yeah, but Draven, I think he actually just started his W and just popped it to get out of there, using the movement speed that it comes with it. I would have rather liked to see Verge maybe just start with the heal and use that. But we will see, right? Because now The thing about Draven is you start Q and you get a BF sword level 1 essentially, as long as you're catching your axes. So not starting that level 1 against a Blitzcrank too, it could put them in a little bit of a tough spot here.
That being said, the Jhin can absolutely hit like a truck too. Of course, that 4th bullet with the extra bonus damage on top of it would be absolutely brutal, especially lined up with the CC from the Blitzcrank. But for Verge, this, I feel like, as much as I'm not going to necessarily like it, it's basically an AFK Yuumi game for the first little bit. Maybe optimal timing to maybe exclamation mark giveaway and get yourself into the merge. You know, just hop onto your Draven and go into the Twitch chat and maybe get yourself some merch.
Yeah, exactly. Try get as much chat interaction as you can. Get some channel points up, and don't forget to join in on that giveaway. It costs 3,000 channel points. You can do it once per stream. Shameless plug there.
Absolutely. And we got Barlow up in the top lane, actually. So they did switch it up a little bit. They did not want to end up having Ricky's Yasuo up against the Darius, which, to be fair, I think that would have actually been a little bit tough on him. So
yeah, honestly.
Just zone him up with turrets this time by instead. Barlow going to have a fun old time just constantly shoving that wave. And compared to game number 1, a very quiet start to game 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw Trinity Valley try to go for that engage there. Meanwhile, Ricky's going to get a lot of auto damage here. The Q knockup after the E sweeping blade, it is going to come out with a lot of damage on this Vex, and the hook is going to hit, but Zephyrod is level 2, and so is Verge. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, is that going to be a kill for Ricky? That is going to be first blood. The bot lane skirmish just kind of ended up being nothing. Both teams ended up disengaging, and they are back to the farm fest.
Yeah, Zephyrod may have gotten yoinked, but at the same time, you got the movement speed boost, you have the healing from the Yuumi, so it ended up being pretty much just an even trade overall, even after the burst damage from Cookie. And here we go, they're not done yet.
It is double axes up for Zephyrod. He is going to miss grabbing one, though, but the damage is stacking on after that ignite. It's ticking down the Jhin. The last auto is able to find him. Blitzcrank, he is going to find safety under tower, but Barlow also going to find the solo kill onto Dalos. Oh, Dalos is actually playing top lane this game, so we are seeing a little bit of a role swap from Trinity Valley as well. He was their Poppy in the jungle last game.
Right, that's true.
So yeah, I like the idea there, but great play from Barlow. He is going to throw the E. He missed the stun spot, but the slow is just enough to get him away from the Darius, and there is not enough damage.
And that's just always the tough spot, right? When this, like, as much as you want to jump on the Heimerdinger and just start like battering away, if those turrets are set up, they instantly start focusing you, and all of a sudden, it's like, what, 2 other champions auto-attacking you, and all of a sudden, what looks like a one fight for you just dragged on, and you didn't quite end up taking it. So a little bit rough there for Dalos, and then up the mid lane once again, Ricky, just anytime the cooldowns are down here from Zan, it's just instantly diving on in.
Yeah, and we're seeing that every time. He's going to hit the EQ, the blade there, and then he's going to hit the second one that gives him the knockup as well, stacking it up on those minions. But we are seeing Olaf find his way near the mid lane here. Barlow, the turret damage is so much. Dalos can't do anything. This matchup is very rough on Darius.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a situation, too, where the Darius is going to outscale the Heimerdinger either, so it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking as this game goes further and further through. And
Gank coming out here in the mid lane. Ricky, though, can he find his way out of it? He is going to be dashing through, but there's only so many minions left he can dash through. That is going to be the Fresh coming in on the Lucian jungle.
Oh, no.
Just barely enough. Oh, he's going to chase him down through these minions. Flash away, saves his life. He's safe and picks up the red buff from the Olaf as well. So he's going to be able to find his way back to lane. Oh, here in the bot lane too, Zephyrod. These blades are stacked up. The axes, they are spinning so fast and so much damage. Level 6 on Ricky here. He hits a nice little knockup, but he's going to trade out his life for that.
Okay, good for the Vex there for Zan to just secure that shutdown at least. Just keep him under tower long enough for that last one to go through. So even though down a little bit on CS, it's not necessarily as bad as it could have been. But it's definitely hard to try and find like that light at the end of the tunnel here for Trinity Valley, because it just seems everywhere they're being dove upon, and usually any point in the early game where you start seeing a multi-thousand gold lead, you start to kind of worry a little bit. We saw it in the last game. Looks like it's picking up pretty much right where we left off in this game here. However, We have ourselves a gank. Neko going to be trying to join the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, the Olaf is going to try and find something down here. Sephiroth, though, he's got so much move speed on this Yuumi. The exhaust is going to come out. They might actually be able to find the kill onto Neko here, but he is going to be able to disengage. But Sen in the mid lane, he's taking so much damage from Ricky's perfectly timed W there as well. And this is what we're seeing, right? Ricky, he's able to dash in, get so much poke, dash back out through the minions that he can still do it on. And then a perfectly timed W there is going to cancel out the trade that Zan tries to get back.
Yeah, last time I checked, dark types weren't weak against flying types, but for whatever reason, it does seem that these tornadoes from Ricky are just absolutely super effective, just constantly like a magnet. And here we go, down the bot lane once again, Cookie's in trouble.
Yeah, double axes missed from Sephiroth there. That actually stops his W reset, and he isn't able to chase anymore. So the disengage is going to come through. Wave is going to crash, but Cookie dangerously low here to be walking up like that. His Blitzcrank is playing behind him too, so they might be trying to bait out something. A gank coming in here from top lane, but Dalos is going to fall. And there's so many turrets stacked up here. The ultimate turret as well. That is so much damage from the Heimerdinger. Barlow finds himself a double kill. 3-0, 4 stacks on the Dark Seal. He is scaling hard. 31 CS advantage here up on the Darius. Darius and Olaf both finding themselves 0-2. The only person who's been able to trade out a kill has been Zan here in the mid lane. And that was after Ricky just kind of went super deep on that one ult. And look, we're going to find it again. Another knock-up. Late ult is going to come out. Windwall as well blocks the Q, and another Q from Ricky is going to find the kill. That is 4-1 on this Yasuo. The Zerkgreaves are built. He's going to be moving into this Noon Quiver soon. It's rough here once again.
Yeah, and then we just saw another exact situation why just dealing with Heimerdinger is so rough. Normally, you get the flank, you get the gank off for somebody up in the top lane. They have to run for the hills. Meanwhile, Heimerdinger, 2 turrets set up, and you have an ultimate turret available. Okay, I'm parking myself right here. Bring it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Deal with me. I know it might be 2v1, but I have turrets. And again, just shows how you can easily, or not necessarily easily, it was still some good fancy footwork there from Barlow to try and position himself well during that. But again, like, you just try to get close for just a moment, and pop, you did.
Yeah, and we're going to see that just again. Dalos just gets too close for a moment. The turret damage stacks up. He tries to walk back behind the wave. Not enough time there. And then Barlow's able to secure it with a W auto right at the end.
And you never, you see the turret, rather, and then, you don't feel threatened.
Yeah.
Until you're down to a quarter HP, and it's like, wait, where did my health go? And then you start panicking, but it doesn't matter. Heimer is already chasing you down. Barlow going to be playing that to perfection so far here. Ricky also doing a fantastic job in this mid lane, just constantly catching the Vex, either without cooldowns, maybe after trying to use the Q or something to hit a minion or something along those lines, and just dives on in. Nothing they can do. But to be fair, some of the members on Trinity Valley have more CS than the entirety of last game.
Yeah, to be honest. And as much as Ricky is getting so much poke and so much damage here off of that Yuumi ult, the Whirling Death going to come in as well. Going to clean up the Blitzcrank. 2 axes down here. Sephiroth finds Cookie with the Ignite auto. That is going to be a double kill under tower. Meanwhile, Ricky, he's just trying to take free red buffs here. Hits a double ult. Oh, not going to hit it on the Olaf, actually. Just a little out of range. But Zan is going to get hit by that while Ricky just chases him down. The ult from the Olaf, it was a good try. And here in the top lane, we're seeing right as Dalos was trying to rotate down to help his teammates, Barlow is going to punish that turret setup, and there's just too much damage.
I mean, that was the best possible opportunity there for Dalos. Was able, when going down, Barlow was there to cut them off, but now you're out of range of the turrets. And it was a very, very close fight, even considering the level difference. But eventually Barlow was able to finish the job, and it's just showing this amount of gold that you're getting for eliminations and the amount of gold you're getting from your CS. It's just starting to add up to a point of brutality, as we see nearly 10k already at the 10-minute mark. And that's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, and we're seeing Fresh here
just
farming it up in Lucian jungle. And as much as I want to say I want to see more ganks from him, oh, nice dodge on the tornado. Yeah, he just doesn't have to. Look at what's happening here in the bot lane. Blue Scully is just running away on this Blitzcrank, taking so much damage. Ricky LaFleur coming in here from behind. There is a minion wave to chase him down. Flash Q going to come out. Stun under tower. He's taken so much damage, but he is going to find himself a double kill. and make it away. Double buffs are up for him. The regen is going to come back. He's got the cooldown reduction. The wind wall is back up even faster. It's just a rough one. 17-1 for St. Clair College, and it was just the one traded kill. We're going to see a gank come in here top, but we could see another Barlow 1v2. The ult just a little early from Darius, but the Olaf Cleaver going to clean it up, and this is actually going to be good. This is a little bit of gold back for them, right? They're able to pick up a plate here as well. Dalos is hopefully going to be able to pick up a plate as this second minion wave comes in. Yeah, they were able to pick it up.
Yeah, and honestly, like, just Olaf in 2022 feels like you just have to get ahead in order to feel effective, but hang on a second, Fresh might get turned on.
Yeah, but is there enough damage from Dalos? No, there isn't. Fresh here, as much as Dalos is trying his hardest, he's got Merc Treads too, right? Which doesn't help you at all against the Lucian. And that is going to be 1-0 on Fresh. Ricky LaFleur finding himself in another 1v2 situation. That is a double ult coming out. Double kill. Can he make it a triple? He most definitely can. The third knockup coming out there, and that is going to be Blitzcrank falling. Blue Scully 2. Good to try and come in there and support your teammates, but they were just too low by the time he got there.
Yeah, there's got to be a certain point during the game where it's like, okay, you're too far gone. I just need to go back and farm or something.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that would have been it there. And unfortunately there for Lewis Scully, the hook ended up actually just helping Ricky because he still had a dash to catch back up with you after you tried to run away. So unlucky there, to say the least. More and more turrets falling here for the side of Trinity. Fresh might be feeding right now here in a second, though, as he does get a little bit of a cocky back. Dalos, one shot.
That's a lot of damage.
That was close,
but the
actually.
Q is able to secure it. Nice little Q coming out there. I actually thought he had Ulta back again, but I guess the resets are not that high. Not yet until he is at that level 16 mark where it's a full reset. But yeah, down here in the bot lane, once again, we're seeing Cookie play so far back. The heal is going to come out, but the root is still going to hit. That is 3 hits from the Yuumi ult. The root comes out. 2 autos, and he's dead. The Whirling Death going to come back to him. So much damage out of this Draven here. He opted for a Serpent's Fang too. Like, typically we'll see Dravens go like Bloodthirster first or something like that. Not an item that gets you into melee range. But the Serpent's Fang, it's going to make his damage even higher. He's basically an assassin at this point. Barlow, he's doing so much damage to Zan here in the mid lane. Force to pop the flash. And Barlow is just going to keep sieging here. And we're seeing all these pings come out on the map. It's just a rough one. There's really just not much else to say, honestly. I mean, we're gonna see Ricky. He finds another ult there in the bot lane. Barlow, he finds one as the Darius is gonna fall. Ooh, nice little footwork there, but the flash from the Olaf is gonna find him. Flash auto. That is gonna be Barlow down. But the real target here has got to be Ricky with that 700 gold shutdown on his head.
You ever just like see the Draven Whirling Axe come out and you just feel it when it makes contact? That's kind of what it feels like right now. Anytime Zephyr fires an attack out. And then also good on Barrow, just hang on and at least trade that out 1-for-1. It just goes to show how far the Saints are ahead, that they can even get away with these kind of these plays right now. Yeah. Inhibitor is going to be falling in just a second, and pretty much anything is just out of reach.
Yeah, at this point I can taste the Draven Axe when it hits. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's hitting that hard. And Ricky, though, he's going to find himself dashing around here. And they're just going to keep bullying him under the Nexus towers. I mean, we saw this last game. Oh, that is a 1-2-3. He's only going to find 2 with the ult, but they're going to be stuck there in the air for so long as Zephyr lays on the pain here on Draven. The Yuumi on top of him, they are not going to fall.
I mean, they still have a game to play here. This isn't Overwatch where you could just kind of keep them in their base and just let the time run out. But
it like they're basically doing that right now? Like, they can still keep it like that. No TPs on the side of Trinity Valley, so they literally can't get out of the base if they wanted to.
Like, anytime, like I was always taught that when you're ahead, like, get yourself more ahead, don't flex. And there is still so much stuff on the board that can be picked up here for St. Clair just to, like, not necessarily toss the lead, because obviously they're in the lead pretty considerably here. But there's still many things that you can do to just like amplify that. However, they might be trying to make a stand here at the Nexus.
Yeah, the curtain call is going to come out from the Jhin, but the shots are just going to go a little bit wide. Dalos trying his best to find Barlow, but Zephyros with that Serpent Fang, he is going to find him.
My.
But the shutdown onto Ricky is going to come out. Is it enough, though? Verge is in there deep on the Yuumi, and here's where we're seeing the flexing come back to them, right? It's coming back to bite him down. Verge, he's autoing down this Jhin. Oh, nice little dodge there on the W2.
Barlow.
Not going to hit him. Barlow, he's got that turret stacked up, though. He knows he's safe. The Yuumi here on top of him, bring him back to around half health. The Blitzcrank just forced to flash out of fear.
I mean, it's another one of those games that can definitely be classified as a bra moment, to say the least here. But like taking a look at like I was talking about before, like being able to just like get your lead and make your lead bigger. Like, is there? I'm not trying to rag on Saints right now, but is there a reason why there's no dragons?
Yeah, especially I understand last game, right? It's a cloud Drake last game, so there really isn't a point in even grabbing it. But this is an Infernal.
It's still an objective, right?
Yeah, but this is an Infernal, right? This actually provides a flat percentage damage buff to your team, and like you could be grabbing it. Fresh actually opted to grab the Rift Herald instead.
Yeah, that was happy about.
Yeah, that was pretty good, right? Because I think we could see another pre-20-minute end here. As Saints start grouping up on this bot side. They're going to move in with this super minion wave coming in here as the inhib is down.
Part of me would be a little bit terrified, though, to see how much an amplified damage Draven would be doing at this point here with the Infernal. And did, I seen that right? Did Zephyros just literally use the ultimate just to secure Gromp?
I actually, to be honest, I didn't really see it myself, but they are going to be able to find this second inhib here. As Trinity Valley running away, the fear is going to come out onto Ricky, but he's got the Yuumi on top of him. The shield, it didn't even pierce his shield there from his flow stacks. Another one going to come out, but Olaf cannot be disabled. The ult, though, it does not matter, as Ricky is going to find himself another kill on this Yasuo.
Yeah, the best disable is just completely eliminating them off the map, and the Saints are going to take care of that nice and quickly. Unfortunately there for Neko, not much you can do once you get low, but here we go, possibly final fight.
Yeah, possibly final fight here. Zephyros once again laying on the pain. He's catching all these axes. The resets are out. Ricky, he's dancing around. He's going to get pulled back in. The Immortal Shield Bow is going to pop, but it is not enough. Dalos, he tries his best with the ultimate, but no one is low enough to get executed. Zephyros, the constant healing here from the Yuumi just helps so much. Ricky LaFleur still finding himself in this fight, and we are going to see
dance.
Yeah, we are going to see Shelly dancing at the end there. That's what Fresh Game worked towards.
Okay, I mean, does this surprise us? Unfortunately, I do not think so.
No.
But at the same time, though, I still do want to give Trinity Valley credits, especially in regards to like their drafting and their homework. Like I was saying before, I feel like they probably did more homework than anybody else we've played so far in cLoL here for the NJC division. But unfortunately for them, it was still pretty much the exact same results. Granted, got a little bit more CS on the board this time by. They had a couple more fights, a couple of eliminations on the board compared to the last game. But at the end of the day, just put themselves in too far of a hole to be able to really dig out of, and just let the Saints run away with it.
Yeah, in the end, it was just an absolute slaughter, right? We're seeing Ricky. Look at the damage numbers there. 3 players were up in that, I want to say it was like 20, 30k damage range. We didn't see the numbers there on the bottom. But yeah, just a murder here today.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Saturdays have just basically been like I said, just murders across the board. But hopefully we'll be switching up soon. Don't get me wrong. Big props to the Saints for the victory here today.
Yeah.
Getting a win like this after a rough game from Friday does feel good. However, it's still, like, I won't lie, I still kind of worry a little bit about a few things moving forward if I were to break it down a bit. Because, like, sure, they won. But in terms of, like, actually, if it was like an even matchup or something like that, would you just be farming the champions if this was Uatawa again?
Yeah, that's
regardless of the dragon, you would be taking dragons. You would be setting up for Rift Heralds more consistently if you had yourselves in that kind of position. Would, like, even with the drafts themselves, like, it was I guess quotations, it was a glorified pick comp, basically.
Yeah.
Which is just quotation for just saying it was a solo queue draft, to be completely could be completely fair with yes. And I know not necessarily the quality of teams we're getting to practice against in these games are not necessarily the greatest, but I still wish I saw the same kind of play regardless of which team we were playing.
Yeah,
If I were to nitpick, though. That
Yeah.
being said, they got the W, so it is what it is. I'm behind the desk. I'm a commentator.
Exactly.
I'm not a player, right? But
Yeah,
this
but
is me.
as someone who's been following the Saints all season from NECC preseason all the way up to now, we do see I worry sometimes about the ego. Yeah, I worry. That's really the only way to play it, to say it, right? I worry sometimes about them like not trying to draft out for team play. They're kind of drafting these solo queue comps, and then you see, like as we saw last night on Friday, it doesn't really work when you're facing a really strong, evenly matched team with the Saints like you, Ottawa.
Yeah. That being said, though, we will be closing this out very, very shortly. Of course, still plenty of action. We're just getting started. Like yesterday was a season opener for NECC. We're about halfway through regular season here for cLoL, and there's still just that much more to go. Yeah, there's only like one more game actually of cLoL to go. Then we're in playoffs, so things will be starting to get exciting in theory for cLoL Saturdays moving forward. But of course, still plenty of action to go. We don't have anything for tomorrow for Sunday for the first time in a while, but we will be right back here for NECC Valorant on Monday at 7. And then pretty much at least one match every single day, if not more. So still plenty of action.
Yeah, so I guess it's time to segue into the giveaway, right? So
Absolutely.
Right now on our Twitch, you can join our Twitch giveaway for any piece of Saints merch. You just got to watch, interact with chat. You'll collect those channel points. For 3,000 channel points, you can enter the giveaway, gain one entry. You can do it once per stream. So as long as you're watching all the streams, there is nothing stopping you from entering this giveaway like 20 times. Trying to get as much of a chance as you can. But yeah, if you can't wait for February 28th, when that winner is drawn, you can go to acquire.ca/Saints. Get yourself some Saints merch. We got everything. We got jackets. We got jerseys. We got crew necks, hoodies, whatever you desire. It is there.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, a couple thank yous as well to the sponsors that make these broadcasts and makes the team all happen. Of course, first off being Crunchyroll, our newest one, has been coined. It's basically your Netflix of anime, sort of speak. Pretty much any anime you would want to take a look at, or any sort of manga as well, Crunchyroll will be your place to go and give it a shot for 14 days for free. Crunchyroll.com/Saints. Of course, also big thank you to Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair SRC, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology for also sponsoring and supporting us here. And a big thank you, of course, to everybody joining us here on the broadcast. Yes, this was a bit of a quick one, but at the end of the day, we're happy that you're tuning in and supporting our teams, the team, your family members, friends, classmates, whoever it very well may be. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And then, there we go.
Dalos, he's going to try and cancel as much as he can, but we're probably just going to see a quick stun E from Barlow here, but instead he decides to opt to get the red buff. That's kind of BM, but it is what it is. Zephyros going to pick up the Lux as well. They're chasing down Dalos. Ricky going to find another one. 9-2 here on this. And that's going to be another kill going over to him. St. Clair just farming these guys under their Nexus turret. The cLoL going to have to come out to save. Flash coming out from Zephyros. He's greedy for this kill right now. Dalos going to fall under the Nexus turret. No minions here available, but a couple waves coming in from bot and pick up a last kill on him. But the Nexus, it's slowly going to be chunked. Zephyros, he's just tossing autos out. Ignite going to come out onto him. Huge black shield. Look at the size of that thing. And Ricky going to come in with a big sweeping slash. And Zephyros is going to fall to the Caitlyn.
Even after the burst damage from Cookie. And here we go. They're not done yet.
It is double axes up for Zephyros. He is going to miss grabbing one, though, but the damage is stacking on after that Ignite. It's taking down the Jhin. The last auto is able to find him. Blitzcrank, he is going to find safety under tower, but Barlow also going to find the Soul Jungle.
Oh, no.
Just barely enough. Oh, he's going to chase him down through these minions. Flash away, saves his life. He's safe and picks up the red buff from the Olaf as well, so he's going to be able to find his way back to lane. Oh, here in the bot lane too, Zephyros, these blades are stacked up, the axes, they are spinning so fast and so much damage. Level 6 on Ricky here. He hits a nice little knockout, but he's going to trade out his life for that.
Okay, good for the Vex there for Zan to just secured that shutdown at least. Keep him
Gonna come through. Wave is gonna crash, but Cookie dangerously low here to be walking up like that. His Blitzcrank is playing behind him too, so they might be trying to bait out something. A gank coming in here from top lane, but Dalos is gonna fall, and there's so many turrets stacked up here. The ultimate turret as well. That is so much damage from the Heimerdinger poke, and so much damage here off of that Yuumi ult. The Whirling Death gonna come in as well. Gonna clean up the Blitzcrank. 2 axes down here. Sephiroth finds Cookie with the Ignite auto. Now it's going to be a double kill under tower. Meanwhile, Ricky, he's just trying to take free red buffs here. Hits a double ult. Oh, not going to hit lane. Blue Scully is just running away on this Blitzcrank, taking so much damage. Ricky LaFleur coming in here from behind. There is a minion wave to chase him down. Flash Q going to come out. Stun under tower. He's taking so much damage, but he is going to find himself a double kill and make it away. Fresh here. As much as Dalos is trying his hardest, he's got Merc Treads too, right? Which doesn't help you at all against the Lucian. That is going to be 1-0 on Fresh. Ricky LaFleur finding himself in another 1v2 situation. That is a double ult coming out. Double kill. Can he make it a triple? He most definitely can. The third, we're seeing all these pings come out on the map. It's just a rough one. There's really just not much else to say, honestly. I mean, we're going to see Ricky. He finds another ult there in the bot lane. Barlow, he finds one as the Darius is going to fall. Oh, nice little footwork there, but the flash from the Olaf hard. And Ricky, though, he's going to find himself dashing around here. And they're just going to keep bullying him under the Nexus towers. I mean, we saw this last game. Oh, that is a 1-2-3. He's only going to find 2 with the ult, but they're going to be stuck there in the air for so long as Sephiroth lays on.
And the Saints are going to take care of that nice and quickly. Unfortunately, there for Neko, not much you can do once you get low, but here we go, possibly final fight.
Yeah, possibly final fight here. Zephyron once again laying on the pain. He's catching all these axes. The resets are out. Ricky, he's dancing around. He's going to get pulled back in. The Immortal Shield Bow is going to pop, but it is not enough. Dallo